Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nadie, and today we're testing out the Pat McGrath Labs Huetopian Dream Palette. As you fabulous people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. Oh, my low mint marmalade cups, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you are having a great day so far. I myself am doing pretty good, and I'm really excited about this. If you know me, I am a huge fucking Mama Pat fan. Like, oh, her artwork, just everything is such an experience. It's so extra. I love it. When I ordered this, I was kind of making my monthly makeup review haul, so I don't really remember what this looks like. I do know that it was expensive. I think it was like $125, which I will be the first to say that typically for me, these palettes are not worth $125. What you're paying for is, like I said, the experience. Like, this is literal artwork. This is luxury. I'm not saying the shadows aren't absolutely divine and fuckable, but price-wise, for me, they just usually aren't worth it. But this packaging, oh my gosh. Okay, so here we have the beautiful, typical plastic component. It is simple, it is sleek, it is just heaven. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way about the packaging, but this is usually stuff that I want to hang on my wall. In fact, one of Pat McGrath's pictures is my backdrop. I just love her so much. But like I said, very pricey. Okay, let's open this and... okay. It's very, very neutral. Oh, but the shimmers. Oh, those are really, really pretty. They actually look a lot cooler on camera than they do in person. Wait, no, I take that back. Once they catch the light... oh, that is really cool. The mattes, they're just mattes. They're nothing special looking at all. I'm sure they perform fabulously, but these right here just catch my eye, like this little corner. Oh, do you see that? It's like blue right there, like aqua, and then it goes straight up purple. Oh. And then this one up here kind of goes like bronzy reddish, similar purple to the one below it, and then like gold, and it's just a whole bunch of shit happening. That's really, really pretty. Not really remembering what it looked like when I was ordering this. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily something that I would order if I weren't reviewing it, simply because these colors do leave a lot to be desired. However, with Pat McGrath palettes, I have so many of them, and I found that with these little babies, it's best to use like one, maybe two of the mattes, and then a shimmer. Like, simple and chic is bet. Oh my god, this one goes from green to red. Sorry, I just noticed that. Let me see if I can try to show you the green version of it. Oh, there, it's kind of green. No, it's literally like Granny Smith apple green, and then it goes like candy apple red. That is odd. I do have a few of the other palettes here, most of which my makeup fairy godmother gave me, Mama D, so thank you, Mama D. But just in case you are interested in this and you have some of the other palettes, let me just see if any of the shades are similar. Not in this palette. Let's see about this little baby. No, not real, kind of. This shade is actually similar to, oh wait, we have a couple that are similar. This is the Mothership Sublime palette, and this shade right down here is kind of similar looking to this one up here. And then this matte up here is similar-ish to this one. This one is definitely more mauve-y and kind of a little bit cooler. So really no repeats yet. That's kind of fun. And then here's the big Subversive palette. Not really many repeats with this either. In fact, when comparing this newer palette to all the old ones, I think I might actually like the newer one more. Okay, I have no idea what the name of this palette is, but these two would actually complement each other quite nicely. Where the fuck is the name? Oh, is this just the OG Mothership palette? I actually don't know that I've ever used this one. They to me are just so beautiful, literal pieces of artwork. And then we have the Mothership Mega palette, by far my least favorite palette from this brand. It was definitely kind of on the cheaper side. I mean, you did get quite a few shadows for the price. I want to say this was maybe 80 bucks. Not bad at all for Pat McGrath palettes, but like we can see, some of them have kind of crumbled and fallen apart, and they don't really feel quite as good as these other palettes. But once again, I think that both of these combined would really complement each other. So maybe this is a good investment if you are a Pat McGrath collector. Ooh. But I'm not convinced of the price. I never have been. I never will be. But as a whole, are these shadows usually good quality? Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh, I just want to like dip my fingers and my toes in here and dive right in like a fucking whirlpool. These multi-chromes are really something else. Like, the more that I look at them, I notice something different. So in that aspect, it's really cool, and I love this design that they have on them. It's kind of like rocky looking. Oh, they just make my titties tingle. Okay, so let's feel a couple of these. Actually, maybe I should look at the deets for this first. Oh wait, now that I see this online, I do remember looking at this, and this does not look like how it looked online. It's very pretty, but a lot of the shadows were definitely more saturated. This isn't dusty. It's just completely different tones than what I'm seeing, which I will tell you from personal editing experience, that is very common. I'm not surprised. It makes you really want to buy it when you see the picture online. All right, this has almost 5 out of 5 stars. Very, very good. The lowest review is only 4 stars. Not too bad. People are saying they absolutely love the shimmers. They are amazing, but the mattes, it's not that they're bad. It's just that they're kind of all the same. So they just wanted something a little bit more spicy, which is exactly what my first reaction was. So I feel you there. And honestly, even the 5-star reviews say pretty much the exact same thing. Sounds as though, like usual, the quality is fucking smacking, but I think people are kind of like me, where after you see the depth that it has online and then getting it in person, it's just not the same experience. Still pretty, but $125? I don't know. You have to think, if this were in like cardboard packaging and you didn't get this beautiful plastic and metallic casing, would we still be as willing to pay that high price tag for the actual product that we're using? I don't know about that, but again, it is the experience. It's like buying a designer bag. Like, nobody really gives a shit about the bag. It's who the bag is by. I don't know. I just tread a little bit differently when it comes to Pat McGrath reviews, because she really does have quite a cult following. Like the shit that I've gotten in the past for even suggesting that you could get similar colors anywhere else. Oh my God. People honestly need to loosen their strap on a little bit, because it is just makeup. Anyways, my loves, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Let's feel a couple of these before we do the official swatchy song. I have to feel this guy right here. Oh, wow. That looks completely different than I thought it would. It's actually kind of a chunky glitter, but the kind of glitter that will probably adhere. I mean, for $125, it better fucking adhere. But that is not at all like I thought it'd be. It's kind of prettier. On the finger, I see teal, I see dark blue, I see light blue, I see green, gold, pink, a lot of everything in there. That is simply exquisite. Then I want to feel this more normal shimmer, which, oh my God. Literally, the lightest fucking touch gets the most payoff ever. And that's what I'm talking about when I say this is an experience. It truly is. Nothing against any other more affordable brand, but this really is unlike any of those. Except Indie Brains, they really have their shit together. And then let's feel one of these mattes. We'll try this mauve-y one. Very nice. We'll put the matte right there. Oh. Wow, that is not over anything. There's no patchiness. Oh my God, that is just what the fuck I'm talking about. Then we'll put this beautiful shimmery glitter right next to it. Y'all, I might actually be eating my words for this video. Well, no, I don't know about that. I'm never gonna say that this is worth $125, but I feel as though this is more worth that high price tag than some of the other palettes. But this is very, very nice, exquisite, just like pretty much every Pat McGrath palette. Oh, at least from these 3 swatches. Who knows how they perform on the eyes? We'll never know until we swatch into a look with this bitch. You guys know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. And here we have everything swatched. Oh my goodness, y'all. If you have ever felt a Pat McGrath shadow, you will know exactly what I'm saying when it feels like heaven. It feels unlike any other shadow that you will ever have felt, because you just very, very lightly brush the top and you have an incredible amount of pigment. And even though a lot goes on, you don't really use a lot. It's like they somehow figured out how to compact it so tightly that you get a fucking lot in a little bit. It's just a really good feeling palette. And if you've never felt a Pat McGrath palette before, you might be looking at this and be thinking, well, that just looks like a ColourPop palette, but in person, it does not. I fucking love ColourPop, but it's kind of the difference in cotton sheets and silk sheets. Like, even this topper up here is just, oh my gosh, it's nice. It's real nice. I cannot wait any longer. I really want to try this. So let's prime the eyes. I'm not even sure if I'll do a full face look today. I might just keep it with the eyes. Can we do that? Whenever I see the little videos that are launched with these palettes, they're always so simple. Literally all they do is like blend one color, smear some shimmer on, and it somehow looks like runway ready. This is probably one of the only brands that makes me want to keep the look simple, because you really don't have to go overboard with it. So let's just do 2 different looks on either side. I'm mainly just going to be showcasing these shimmers, because the mattes, they're pretty, but we already know that usually Pat McGrath mattes are just freaking amazing. So let's start with a lighter shade. Oh, I don't know which one. We've got 2 of them. I think on this eye, let's do this guy right here. It's kind of like a bubblegum salmony pink. It picks up very, very nicely. There's the tiniest bit of kickback, but you can actually kind of sweep it up. Like there's some kind of like static electricity just keeping it right there. It's not flying all over, which is very nice. And, oh God, I dropped my brush. That was full of pigment. Oh, now there's a big pink stain on my carpet. Hold on, I have like 3 of those same brushes. Let's grab a new one. Okay, here we go again. And we'll place that right along the crease line and blend that back and forth, just like that. Very nice. I'm actually gonna go in for another little dip. It's a beautiful color, but it is also very, very soft and subtle. You might have to build it up a little bit, but when you do build it up, like, that is pretty. There's plastic getting caught on my lip gloss. Where the fuck did plastic even come from? It basically blends itself out in the similar fashion of every other Pat McGrath shadow. I wouldn't necessarily, oh my gosh. I wouldn't necessarily say this shadow is anything like super spectacular though. Like, it is absolutely good quality, but I do think you could probably get the same shade from another brand. You might have to work just a little bit harder to be this soft and pretty, but still. Oh, but really, that just blended out in like 3 fucking strokes. That is nice. Okay, just a little bit more right here on the outer corner to build up the color. It's not like I even really need anymore. I just want to keep applying this shit because it's so pleasant to use. This is the kind of shadow where you could use crumpled up tinfoil as a brush and it would still blend out. That is very, very nice. How the fuck do they do that? Then, keeping with the simplistic style, let's dip into this deeper brown right here, and I think I'm gonna put it on the inner and outer corner. We'll just start it right about here, and I'm just gonna kind of tap it on. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's kind of definitely on the more subtle side though. I really do understand now what people were talking about in the reviews where people wish there was a little bit more differentiation between the shadows. I get that, because this brown kind of looks like it would turn into this pink color if you really blended it out, but it's also like the perfect contour shade for that pink. Like, that just goes together really, really well. We'll take a little bit on the inner corner. I am noticing though that you do need a little bit more than usual with this palette. Like, I'm having to dip in like 3 or 4 times just to get a good amount of pigment to stick. I don't really remember that with the other palettes, but at the same time, like, even though I've dipped in a bunch of times, you can't really even tell. Like, it would take a long time to get through this. So I really am not that mad. I do just wish it packed a little bit more punch for the price. Still though, very, very pretty, super easy to use. It blends out pretty much by itself, and I don't really mind that you have to layer it up because you can either go in very light or build it up and go in super dark, and it is a lot easier to build up than it is to take a color away, so I don't really even mind that you have to go in a couple times. If it were patchy and you had to go in a couple times to fill in the patches, that would be one thing, but this is not patchy at all. They're so nice. And let's try this little glitter baby right in the center. I'm gonna try sticking it on without any kind of adhesive. If it doesn't stick, it's fine, whatever. We just know that you have to use a glitter glue with it because it basically is like a chunky glitter. And let's just take that right there. Oh my God, adhesive, who the fuck needs her? That is so beautiful. I want a little bit more. And when I say that you can legit go in very, very lightly to get maximum payoff with this, I mean it. Like, here's a clean ass finger. We'll just do one light swipe and there is so much on there. Who's texting me? Oh, hello. Sorry about that. How rude. But yeah, it is just something else. There is a little bit of fallout, but I also have packed on quite a bit and it's really not that bad. I feel like it might dust away. Okay, so cool. This really is not my favorite look at all. Pat McGrath deserves a much prettier look than this, but I'm able to get a good feel for these and let you know if it's good quality, if it's worth the money, no matter how these looks end up. So far though, no complaints. I think I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this brown as well. And just for shits, I'm gonna place this on the inner and the outer corner too. Oh, that goes together really pretty. Can you see the brown on there? Kind of. It just added like a wet glossy look. I kind of really love this. I'm gonna pop a little bit of this highlighter shade right on the inner corner right here. Maybe, can you kind of see it? Well, it's not as though it's not there. I think it just is more of like a standalone shadow. It might need its own moment. And I would be more likely to use this all over the lid and then blend it out with that and then maybe smear this on the lid over that darkness. Actually, let's try that. So let's pack on some of this brown. I don't normally pack dark shadows onto my eyelid, but this will be kind of fun. See, that is so interesting because I did really put quite a lot on that brush, but there isn't a ton of payoff. This is what I'm talking about when I say you do have to build it up a good bit. But again, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a quality issue because the quality does seem to be good. Now we're gonna take this dusty mauve shade and I'm gonna blend that out right above that brown. Oh my goodness, and like instantly, it's like adding a Photoshop filter where it just blurs and blends. This is just the definition of seamlessness. This makes blending so so easy. Whether you're a beginner or a fucking pro, there's no way to like fuck up with this palette. That is definitely one of the things that I love about Mama Pat's palettes. It did, however, definitely blend out to be pretty much the same color. Like, I don't see any differentiation between brown and light pink, which again was said by multiple people in the reviews. We're experiencing that, and especially for that reason, that's why I think these palettes are great for like one matte, one shimmer, and calling it good, because otherwise it might just end up looking very, very similar and kind of muddy. God, I don't like this eye look. Like, it's kind of pretty on camera, but it's also really sloppy look, and that's my own fault. Do I still like the shadows? Yes. I just could have been a little bit more careful with them. This side though, nice, subtle, soft, and neutral, and literally took maybe 18 seconds to do. More like 10. So now I'm just gonna take a hodgepodge of these shimmers because I do want to feel them, and let's start with this lighter one. I'm gonna place that right on the inner corner as a highlight, kind of like what I wanted to do for the other side. Oh, see, yes, that is how the fuck you should use that, because that is nice. If I weren't doing a review, I would probably just keep my eye like this, like slap this on maybe 2/3 of the way out, call it good. But no, I want to feel all these. So let's dip into this one right down here, and it has a nice gold to red shift, and we're gonna take that right next to what we just laid down. It goes on exceptionally well. There is no fallout. I don't know if you can really see the shift. I can in person. Quite nice. Let's move on to this gold, which we will place right next to that, kind of in the center of the eye. Oh, that's pretty. Not my favorite gold ever, but I do like the glossy effect that it's giving me, and it does a good job of complementing the other colors. It isn't like the softest shadow ever. It's kind of chunky, but even though she's a chunky monkey, she still lays down without any adhesive. And I already used this deeper one, so let's feel this kind of gold to green shimmer. Oh, this one kind of scares me, but like in the best way possible. Do you see all the changes? Why isn't it picking up the green shift? I want you to see that one. Oh, come on, damn it. You can get there. There, kind of, maybe? No, that's more of the gold, but like right on the tip of my finger, you can kind of see the green. It's just something else. Okay, so I'm gonna take that right next to the gold. Actually, I'm putting it over that gold because I don't love the way that that gold looked. That's cool. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it on my eyes. I like it, but it's also giving me like sewage vibes. It's pretty in some angles, but that green kind of offsets it a little bit. To me, looking in the mirror here, right there, it looks red, but then when I turn my eye, it kind of turns to like a bile green. It's really pretty swatched, but I don't know that that's necessarily a shadow that I'd ever use, but it probably would look, oh my God, beautiful over an actual green. I wanna try that, like a black smoky eye, but blended out with green, and then this on the eyelid. Oh, I am moister than a fucking oyster now. So me being not a professional makeup artist, just an average everyday consumer who is a makeup enthusiast, having a palette that inspires me to do other looks, that to me is a sign of a good palette. I am not a person that can look at a palette and think, oh, I could put this here, that there, that there. I just don't work like that. I usually have to Google a look if I actually want to create something different than this. But the fact that I'm able to think of quite a few different looks using these multi-chromes does kind of have me thinking that this could be worth it. But then I also remember I'm paying over $100 for like 4 multi-chromes. Is that really worth it? Anyways, we also used this fabulous glitter up here. Let's try this purple. It probably will not go with this look at all. I'm just wanting to try it, and I'm actually gonna kind of mix it in with everything that I've already laid down, so if this looks like a fucking shit show, I'm not even gonna be surprised. Oh yeah, that is gross. I'm just going in with that lightest shade. I am actually very, very impressed that I've been able to layer up so many shadows with this, and it really doesn't look bad. Like, you'd never know that I just had all of those shadows combined there, and I was able to then go in with another layer of the light shade and kind of remedy all of that. I absolutely do not recommend doing that. That is such a fucking waste. I would never do that if I weren't reviewing, but knowing that if you do kind of make a little bit of an oopsie with one of the shimmers, the fact that you can cover it up with another one, that's kind of good to know for those accident-prone people like myself. Okay, let me quick blend out the lower lash on these. There is a good bit of fallout, so let me just dust this away from here. And actually, that's a lie. It's not a good bit of fallout. It was actually kind of modest for the amount of shadow that I caked on, but it was only with the shimmers. None of the mattes have had fallout at all. If you do want this to last all day, you might want to maybe put it over glue just to be safe. Anyways, to start the lower lashes on both eyes, I'm gonna press this darker brown in between each lash. Oh my goodness, that is just so nice. I'm gonna take one of the cheapest brushes that I own. I think I got this off AliExpress or Wish or something. And for the other side, I'm gonna dip into that same brown, and I wanna see how it is with less expensive brushes. Even with an inexpensive brush, this just blends out so nicely, which just goes to show it's not the brush, it is definitely the formula, like, And then I'm going in with the same pink that I smoked this eye out with, and we'll just take that right below that brown. Oh, see, already that just complements so nicely. I know that people do want there to be different colors in this palette, but I don't even know what other color you'd replace this brown with, because it does perfectly accompany this color and this color. So maybe one of these would be what I'd rather have a different shade in. Even like a deep, maybe like wine red or deep purple, that would go really, really well because there are so many like purpley tones in here. That probably would have been a game changer for me. Although I know she does have a color like that in other palettes. But personally, when I was looking at this online on Sephora's website, that's what I thought this color was gonna be like. To me, it does look like a deep wine shade, but it is not. However, it makes me want to then go to a different palette and use a color like that for a whole new look. So it's still inspiring me to use this. But then it also comes down to, am I wanting to pay $125 for a supplemental palette? That is just gonna be up to you. I'm gonna give this brush a little bit of a color switch so that there's no pigment on it. And we can dip into this dustier mauve for the other side. I feel like I could have completely skipped this step entirely and just kept blending that brown out and it would probably look the same. So I am noticing that there actually is a fuck ton of fallout happening. I've wiped that first little layer of fallout away, but now look at it. All right, are you able to see all that underneath my eye? My God, I look like a fucking leprechaun's asshole. On the other side, it's not as extreme, but on this side, I did apply quite a good bit of that chunky-ass glitter, so I'm really not that surprised. This just confirms that if you're gonna use that chunky-ass glitter, either go in sparingly or use something that really adheres it to your eyeball, because otherwise it's just gonna fall down everywhere. Even though I did my lower lash, I actually was gonna go in with some foundation, but I think I'm not even going to bother because it's just going to be a sparkly shit show in a little while. So let me just finish my lash up with some liner, mascara, and falsies. Give me just a second. Also, I think it's kind of funny that I packed like 10 different shadows and shimmers on this eye, yet there was very little fallout, and I only packed a couple on this eye, and that's the side that looks like a sequin drag queen dress. Oh my gosh, it's like a glitter avalanche, like my eyeshadow is eroding onto my face. I can't help that it was so pretty. I just wanted as much as possible on my eye. Well, fuck, there's even glitter in my neck beard. Oh my gosh, shit is everywhere. It's starting. Now everyone I love is gonna have glitter on them. I'm gonna find it on my ass cheek tomorrow somehow. Also, for anyone wondering why I always fucking line my eyes, it's not just because I think it adds a pretty aspect to the look. I actually don't put the outer lash of my lashes against my real lash. I start with my falsie against my real lash right here, and then about right here, I take it straight out and it is just sitting on my eyeliner. If I didn't have that, you'd just see my bare skin and it would look stupid and ridiculous. I'll give the glue another minute to dry down, but because of this liner, it's hiding the fact that my falsie's like a half an inch above where my lash actually is. And see how that adds like a nice feathered, elongated look to my eye? Totally not something new. People have been doing it for ages, but that's why I always do a wing. It really hides an ass ton of things that I don't want you to know about. All right, so here are both our looks. I really had been planning on doing a full face, but I'm actually really glad that I didn't. Normally I don't have fallout with these palettes, but today when Daddy packed that shit on, I did, so I don't mind just having a bare face. I'm excited to try this palette again, but maybe with different mattes, which brings me to the point that I feel as though this is better as a supplemental palette. It's not as though you couldn't get a few complete looks with this palette, but I do just wish there was a little bit more of a variety when it comes to the mattes, especially because when blended out, two of the mattes kind of look the same, and when you're paying 125 bucks for a palette and it only has 3 or 4 mattes in it, none of them can really be similar. But just because the colors are similar doesn't mean that the quality isn't there. Like hell, it is fucking there and it is proud. It is screaming from the rooftops like I am good. The mattes are just heavenly to use. The shimmers are beautiful. They're so transformative. I feel like there's a little bit of something for everyone in there. Like no matter who you are, there's gonna be a color combination in this palette that you can fuck with. So do I think this palette is good quality? It is excellent quality. I have nary a complaint with that. Do be sure to put those shimmers over something sticky though, because otherwise give it 10 minutes, your whole face base will be fucking fucking ruined. Even if you do your face base after, throughout the day, I'm so scared that the glitter's just gonna fall out. It might get caught in your lashes, but by the end of the day, you're just gonna go like that and it'll be like snow falling off a tree branch. I think that's really my only complaint with this palette. So good quality, absolutely. Do I think it's worth the price? No. We already knew that I was gonna say it's not. It's very, very good quality. And I actually probably would have said it was worth the price if we did have just one different matte in there. When you're dealing with single shadows that are over $10 a piece, just one of them can really make or break an entire palette. And I wouldn't say that it broke the entire palette, but for me, it just didn't make it as desirable as other palettes of hers. But if this color story intrigues you and you're okay with the fact that all of the mattes are a little bit more lighter than how they're pictured online, then definitely grab it because you will not be disappointed. Like, the blendability is beyond, the ease of use is just so effortless. This palette is every person friendly. You could have a fucking newborn create a glam look in 5 minutes with this palette. It's very good. It's up to you whether or not it's worth the price for you, but quality-wise, she is bomb. One little final wipe down to take away all the extra glitter. We are much cleaner now, so I'm gonna give this an hour or so, and we can see where the glitter fallout is after that. Okay, it turns out I didn't need a whole hour. I just went and took my wiener dog out to pee, came back and saw there was a lot of glitter now on my face. It was a little bit windy out, but not that bad. Can you see all the glitter? Are you kind of able to see all that under my eye? I have no highlighter on or anything. That is all shimmer. Lots and lots of glitter. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but again, it's glitter. I can't really fault it because usually they do need something to stick onto. I had just hoped that because this was so pricey, it would kind of come self-adhesed, but maybe it would be better used very, very sparingly, which I did not do at all, so I'm really not that upset. But yes, there we go. Let me know down in the comments below if you've tried any Pat McGrath's products. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Why? Are there any particular palettes that you like? Did you try this one? How'd you feel about it? Start a little conversation. I love hearing from ya. And I just fucking realized I totally forgot about doing a riddle, and I haven't done one in like 5 videos, so shit on me. I'm sorry. But today's riddle is, what is the only capital in France? Ooh, what could it be? Feel free to comment the answer that you think it is down below. If you don't know the answer, that's totally okay. Just leave an emoji as to how you feel about today's palette. I think I'd probably be like the glittery shooting star emoji because glitter. And if you are curious about the answer, I will post it on my stories on social media, so follow me on there. Otherwise, there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I love having you. This was just such a fun and kind of weird review. But if you'd like to support me and my channel a little bit more, please feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early. You get Patreon only content. Plus, best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!